tell y'all, I absolutely hate going out of town because it takes me so much to get back home. Oh, that's salt and pepper. Salt and pepper in the day. Do you really want me, baby? I'm not even drinking. Anyway, y'all, the First Ladies of Freight episodes, the last two episodes, child, I forgot what number they was. We gonna call these drunk and crunk because that's what Chloe ass did. Wanna talk about it? Here you go. Now, y'all don't completely bite my head off because I'm a little behind with the First Ladies of Freight, my new reality guilty pleasure. And I know a lot of y'all are like, Q, why are you watching damn First Ladies of Freight? And we want to talk about Married to Medicine, and we want to talk about the Real Housewives of Patanka, and y'all go ahead and talk about all of that because I'm through with them heifers, all right? FYI, that they filmed the Real Housewives, they filmed the Married to Medicine reunion in 2 days. On the 24th, they'll be in New York. So y'all get ready for all y'all Instagrams and Twitters and all that to go off with the subliminal shade or whatever the case may be. And I wait for the girls to call me and tell me what happened. But anyway, let me tell y'all what happened down to the First Ladies of Freight. You know, some of y'all out there, they say you can take the ghetto out the girl out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the girl. Y'all ever had that friend or that cousin or that family member, that drunk auntie that you just can't take nowhere? Well, that's what Chloe was. See, this what you get. I know Michelle and I know that Shanti was like, this what you get for bringing this bitch around a group and we don't even know this hoe. Okay, because later on in the episode, we find out that Casey never truly met Chloe in person. They just communicated kind of via social media, had a couple friends in common. She brought Chloe ass down to the Jason Lee baby, and Chloe showed that. All right, you know how when you take your kids around the bougie family member's house, excuse me, and they show out on you, child, they say Chloe was down to the thing and she took exception with being called a mentee. I guess, you know, when you go on a talk show, they ask everybody for a bio. So the host kind of knows what he's talking about and how to throw the questions. Now, they put Chloe down as mentee to Tiana. And now in hindsight, I'm looking at the fact that Chloe was probably, you know, under the influence and just unable to see the forest for the trees, right? Now, I'm going to break the fourth wall for a minute. You got Casey back here who is trying to basically self-finance this reality television show, right? And get this show off the ground, doing all the things, positioning the show. Chloe, in her rudimentary thinking, not realizing, okay, there has to be an arc. There has to be a cast of characters that are linked somehow. And so, I guess for lack of a better term, the easiest way to have thrown Chloe in the mix was to say she was a mentee to Tiana, who was in jail. Now, considering the fact that Tiana was punani peddling and selling drugs up and down the interstate, I wouldn't want no bitch to think that I fell up under her either. But at the time of the interview, Chloe ain't know that. She didn't know she was selling pussy in pounds up the damn interstate. She didn't see. Look, I just gave that lady a whole extra charge. It ain't nowhere in that girl indictment paperwork it says she was selling pussy. But let me tell you something. If you sell drugs, you's a dishonest bitch, okay? And if you sell drugs, you'll sell pussy. And if you sell pussy, you'll sell any damn thing else that you can get $1 for. Amen, somebody? Amen. So she probably was. They just didn't catch her for that. Or whatever. Or the drugs carried more weight and more crime than coochie up and down the interstate. But nevertheless, they down to the Jason Lee, supposed to be doing a professional interview to get the word out about the show. And Chloe and Jason end up kind of getting into it over the word mentee because instead of moving the fuck on, Chloe is so caught up in the semantics of being called a mentee. Girl, y'all are here to do a 1-hour interview. Take the goddamn title and ride out. So they get into it on the Jason Lee show and it gets awkward. Girl, come to find out after the show, Casey and Chloe get into it bad down to the elevator, baby. Michelle say they was fussing all up and down the vestibule, all in the veranda, all in the lobby, all in the green room, waving hands and cussing and carrying on. It got real ghetto. But see, they had no turn. This Dr. Heavenly, I call her back. Hold on. Dr. Heavenly, I'm in the middle of recording a video. Let me call you back in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Anyway, child, we finna get the gossip bitch before they go to the reunion. Anyway, they down there fussing all down to the lobby. And Casey ain't like it. Casey did not like it at all. She's like, listen, I brought you here. I put you on this platform. Girl, what is you doing? Or whatever. So then we fast forward to Chloe, and she begins to tell a little more of her story. And she begins to say, she took exception with the mentee title because she got it out of the mud. Nobody helped her with anything. She went to one class from Tijuana, and that was it. So she doesn't want to be called a mentee. And you know what? I get that, and I begin to understand it, but I'm still going to lean on she should have let it ride on that interview. And this probably comes with not being media trained as well, knowing that you brought more attention to the mentee title than would have been brought to it had you just let it ride up under the radar. You actually shed light on it, and now it's making us look at you like you were some amateur, like you're some young girl in the game because of the way you handled yourself. Honestly and truthfully, had she just shut the hell up, our brains probably would not have made the correlation, especially considering the fact that Tijuana is in jail, and we've never seen a single scene with Tijuana mentoring you or even telling you how to place an order at McDonald's. We would have never made that correlation. You made us not look at you like you were the newbie, the young girl on the block who needs guidance and mentorship from these older ladies. You did that. But one thing that was very, 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 very profound to me is that in Chloe's green screen, she let her guard down a little bit, and she speaks about how her hairdresser friend changed her life. That Chloe was, never went to school. She got into books and learned, dispatching and stuff on her own from self-study, which is to be commended, guys. It takes a lot of energy to be self-motivated and to be somebody who can do self-study. As college educated, as many times as I've gone to college, I'm here to tell y'all online classes were the worst for me because for me, it requires two levels of attention paying, right? It's like I have to A, teach myself the material, and then I have to B, learn the material. At least when I sit in lecture, all I got to do is learn the material, if that makes sense. When you self-study, you have to teach yourself the material, then you have to learn the material. When you in lecture, all you got to do is sit back and learn the material. So I always prefer lecture because it required less effort and energy on my part. Instead of having to read it to myself and then learn it for myself. She did that. She called her hairdresser friend. Her hairdresser said, I know somebody that owns trucks. And this guy, whomever he is, he took a risk on her and said, I got 5 trucks she could dispatch starting Monday. That's amazing. And I don't know if the kudos should be given to the hairdresser or if the kudos should be given to the truck driver that had the 5 trucks. But that is amazing. It's serendipitous. And that is how you know, God is real and God is on your side when things just happen like that. I always say, especially at 40 years old now, I have learned, y'all, to stop swimming upstream. Stop swimming upstream. I go with the flow. I go in the direction that the universe is pushing me, baby. And sometimes it may not feel good, but it always works out for your good. And things that are meant for you, I'm not going to lie to you, they literally just align and they fall in your lap. Everything I have ever gotten that has taken me to the next level, I have never had to fight for. I have never had to fight for. And all the while, I be over here, grinding over here, hustling backwards, thinking that this is what I need to be doing, and then bam, it just falls right into my lap. So lesson learned. Things that are meant for you. I think Coach Stormy says best. The universe wants for you what you want for you, or something like that she says. But everything you want is waiting for you, or something like that. Anyway, I ain't trying to be Mahatma Gandhi. I'm just telling y'all what the hell going on. So Casey then comes on and she's sitting with the girls and we find out about Tijuana. Now I had to do some behind the scenes digging on Tijuana. Tijuana was already out on bail. She thought that she was going to go to her sentencing hearing, get sentenced, and then come back out and have an opportunity to get her affairs in order, so on and so forth. Baby, the judge banged that gavel and took Tijuana ass to jail immediately. Now, some of y'all dropped down in my comments, and I even went over there into the Detroit archives, and y'all told me it's pronounced Novi, not Novi. I went over there to find out what was going on in Novi. And Tijuana and her male lover, they were caught up in some big time shit, y'all. And come to find out, Tijuana did two things that did not work in her favor. A, they said she was caught harassing the witnesses. All right, harassing and threatening the witnesses while you already out on bond. Number two, they said Tijuana took to social media and told all her supporters to come up to the courthouse and support her. Now, who does that? The quickest way for your ass to go to jail is to upset the judge. Why would you tell your... That was like when Tyrese was on the front steps of telling people, come meet him at his child support case. Why would you invite a mob of people to your court case thinking that you're going to gain favor with the judge? The fans, the people, the viewers, the people that like and comment on your shit on Instagram can't do nothing for you. You is appealing to the wrong person. You should have been selling drugs and pussy to the district attorney's office. Okay? Not to the community. The community's already fucked up and plagued with drugs. You should have went down in your finest Fredericks of Hollywood and sold that big, tall pussy up and down the stairs of the district attorney's office, and you should have rubbed your booty on the judge the next time you saw his ass in the grocery store. That's how you win favor with the people. Not telling the people come up to the courthouse and intimidate and annoy the judge. And as a result of her already being out on parole, and it's probably her threatening that witness, she ended up having to turn herself in immediately and ended up going to jail. Oh, my under eye feeler's feeling, honey. She did that. Then we get into episode 9. So in episode 9, Chloe gets an opportunity to redeem herself. She goes on the Finesses Only podcast, and she's a bit more mild-mannered, a bit more, easygoing, or the case may be. We find out that before the Jason Lee interview, Casey did a couple shots. That, there's liquor on the Jason Lee set, and she did some shots. Now listen, I'm not trying to excuse her bad behavior, but I'm just going to try to explain a little bit of it. Sometimes when people are nervous, especially when they've been thrust in an environment, she's got multiple things working against her. A, I'm with a group of girls that I don't know. B, they're older than me. C, they're more successful than me. So all of those things weigh on a person's well-being or mental well-being. Then I'm on this big media platform. I've never done this before. That's a lot of nerves. That's a lot of nerves. And so she went to the bathroom and Lord, that was a Freudian slip. She went to the bar. But while I'm on the subject of bathrooms, the bitch probably went to the bathroom too and did a couple bumps, quiet as kept. Now, y'all know, bitch, I ain't no stranger to no bump. Okay? Alcohol bring you down. Cocaine bring you up. Mama was up. She was all the way up. Bring it up, bring it up, your good love deserve an encore. Mama went to that bathroom and had an encore and a finale and a standing ovation. Bravo, allegedly, or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Mama had went to that bathroom and tooted and booted, because she was too crunk up on that stage, up on that platform with Jason Lee. Something was wrong with her, but we're going to go ahead and leave it to alcohol. She said she was on alcohol. They go to ATL, and it was so cute to see the girls walking through some of my old stomping ground. They said it was a club called Bailey. It used to be called Victory. The niggas in Miami had a Victory, and they had moved it up there. Now, I don't know if they sold it and called it something else, but when I was hanging out to the motherfucker, it was called Victory. They went to Victory, and it was real cute. And then Cassie meets up with Chloe, and, they kind of talk things out. And then, y'all, we get some very, 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 very interesting tea. And see, the show don't tell it all, so I'ma tell it, because I had to get in contact with Casey Cooper. I figured, the show was small enough where the people were still accessible. So I was able to get in contact with Casey Cooper and get a little bit of the behind the scenes of what was going on. And it was bigger than Tijuana just calling Casey and getting an attitude because she's in prison. The real story goes, they had been working on this expo for a very long time. And Tijuana felt like by the time she went to jail, they should have already been reaping the benefits of whatever work that they put into this expo, and that her and Michelle could have been sending her more money. But see, I'm confused, y'all, because I'd never been to prison before, and I've never had to put no money on anybody's books. All right, but this is just the way my rational brain works. I would assume that it would be a safety hazard for any inmate to be sitting up in prison with $10,000 on their books, right? Because I think that would make them a target or a mark. If I'm not mistaken, I do think that there is a limit that a person could have on their books. But, Casey reveals that her and Michelle sent Tijuana money. And she still, wanted more. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. My whole thing is, how would you have survived in prison had you not known Casey or Michelle? What was your family doing? Like, you showed us all these family members that you had. And how much money do you need? Again, this is just me being ignorant to the prison system because I don't know. But I would assume that $400 a month is more than enough money for somebody in prison. I mean, because all you're doing is buying snacks and sanitary supplies and I imagine maybe some coloring books. I mean, some toiletries. I'm assuming that that's the only thing you can buy in commissary. So how much money do you damn need? And why are you so up in arms with Michelle and Casey? And, Casey goes on the show and behind the scenes, which she told me, and that, Tijuana just launched into her about, how she deserves and she needs this and wants this. And Casey lets it be known on the show, listen, I put hundreds of thousands of dollars already into this trucking expo. We ain't sold a damn ticket yet. I haven't even recouped anything. And you haven't put anything in. So how do you feel you're owed something when you ain't even put anything in just yet, which is very valid. And I was telling Casey when I was on the phone with her, I said, could it be a situation where it really don't have nothing to do with the amount of money and just the simple fact that this person is locked up and their emotions are just running wild because they're in jail, and just a lot of energy, that anger needs to be pointed somewhere, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But however, when the conversation went so left, Casey said she wasn't sending her ass shit no more, and I don't blame her. You're not finna talk to me crazy, and you're not finna talk to me crazy on a telephone call that I'm paying for, because you called collect. That's just not what we doing. That's not what we doing. Then Shanti reveals, and we find out that Tijuana's kind of feeling the way that Chloe is replacing her. And again, I understand that these people are in prison in real time, so their feelings can be real. But girl, you in here for 4 years. Like, honestly, Tijuana, do you honestly expect that life is not supposed to go on for the next 4 years while you in prison panhandling for tampons and Twix? Like, girl, you'd have been better off making an argument about not having no money than you would about them replacing you with Chloe. The show must go on. It ain't like you was going to jail for 6 months. Then I can understand postponing the event. Girl, you got 4 years. So whether they replaced you with Chloe, your daughter, your sister, one of the people you were selling drugs to, it don't matter. You in jail for 4 years. What is these people supposed to do? And this girl need to recoup her money. And child, that's that on that. So next week, we see some more interesting things unfold. I've learned something else too, but I'm not going to tell it. I'm going to let y'all see it on the next episode. But the First Lady's Afraid, y'all, this show is really entertaining because it's real life happening in real time. Like, the episodes that we're watching were filmed not too long ago, which makes this very interesting because it's not like the traditional reality TV show where we watching something that's already been resolved and fought over 19 times and played out on social media before we actually see it on our screen. And honestly and truthfully, real-time reality TV might be the way of the future. Real-time reality TV, where we're watching a show that's been filmed. What we're watching was filmed 2 weeks ago. I think that may be a very smart plan. 1 week to film, 1 week to edit. And then bam, just give us what you got. That could be the future. If y'all start seeing that on TV, remember where you heard it first. Anyway, y'all, The First Lady's Afraid. Be sure to check it out. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll call y'all hoes later. Bye.